What's up, awesome listeners? Time to ignite your potential. Welcome to the Daily Minds podcast. We're thrilled to have you on this incredible journey of growth, learning, and empowerment. At Daily Minds, we believe in the power of knowledge and its impact on our lives. Whether you're here for business insights, better mental health, or pure inspiration, you've hit the jackpot. Our mission? To provide valuable content that not only informs but also inspires action. Each episode is crafted with care, offering expert advice, personal stories, and practical tips you can use every day. Remember, every step towards self-improvement is a step towards a brighter future. We're here to support, guide, and cheer you on through your personal and professional journey. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's grow together, learn together, and make a difference together. Stay inspired and keep listening.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome once again to the Dead Minds podcast. Today we have another guest who is also a Dead Minds author, and she's called Umuhire Joyce. Let's begin by her own brief introduction. Joyce, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you today?
Very nice. We can begin by your introduction. So you better read the word, understand who you are.
Yes, thank you so much. And first of all, I may first appreciate the time you've given me. So, my name is Joyce Umuhire, and I'm a Rwandan lady. I live in Rwanda by residence. I'm also still young. I have 28 years old, and I'm the recent author of the book called The Letter. So, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Okay, so nice. Let's begin by the questions about your book. So what inspired you to write the book, The Letter, and what do you hope the readers to take away from the book?
Thank you so much. What inspired me? It's very funny because I don't know. I can say it's something that just came, but again, I was inspired when I started writing the book. When I was in my university, every night I would go out, as a young girl, just going to have fun, and then I would just come back late. So I would see how my colleagues, mostly girls, would be brought by their they would be brought by their boyfriends or their lovers. And then every time I would meet such scenes, I was like, how about I write something about this story of girls with their boyfriends, but in a twist way? Like, what can happen if they don't bring them back? Or what can happen if I go and they don't come back? So I can say basically that my colleagues inspired me on writing the letter.
Okay, so that's very nice. Oh, can you tell us a little bit about your writing process and how did you develop the idea of this novel?
Yeah, so the process of writing, I can't say it was easy, but the good thing, it wasn't my first book. I was still writing small novels, short novels, short stories. But when I started writing the letter, I had in mind that it's something I'm going to start and I'll finish. That's number one. So the process, I remember it was in Corona, we had enough time and we would beat ourselves, and I could say that's where the process began. But again, I wanted to make it very short and beautiful with those scenes in mind. And every evening I would just sit down and then I write what I think. But of course, as an author, you start something small and then to grow something big. The more you write, the more you are inspired to write more. Maybe I can include this, maybe I can add this. So the process, I can't say it even took long. It was very, very short. And then I just stopped the book and then I published it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so it means that as an author, all you need is just to get started and then everything moves forward. Nice. So what do you think sets the Letter apart from other psychological thrillers and women fiction novels?
What sets my book apart is just, yes, it's just that I wanted to make it unique, but again, relating to what's in the society. Again, when you read it, it's something that it's already in the society, but people don't know it's there. The characters, it's the people we live with, like Gloria or Eric. We have the same people around. There was nothing unusual that we don't have in the society. And maybe what sets apart from the psychological books that
readers and
read.
yes.
Yes. It's that it's somehow intruding, like you want to read more, but again, it's real, it's realistic. There's nothing new, but you just want to know what's coming after. Sometimes it's unexpected. You don't know. You're like, okay, maybe it's gonna be like this, and then it sits again. It gives you another version, but again, there is nothing different from other psychological books that we've been reading. It's somehow going to be the same, but again, different. So it has that uniqueness. When you read, you can get
It just portrays things that happen in everyday life.
yes, no,
Good. So now let's go to the section of character development. So Gloria is a complex, multifaceted character. What was your approach to creating her, and what do you think makes her relatable to readers?
yes. So Gloria is a very complex character, like like you're saying, because most of the readers, when they were reading this book, they're like, oh, why was she complicated? Why didn't she live the defense life with the money? Why did she choose to do what she did? Yeah, I get such feedbacks. So my approach against Gloria was that in the society we have such people who don't care about the money, who don't care about what they have. They care about themselves and what they want in life. So Gloria is that girl. She was complex with things should have been very simple and lived with, but she chose her, like choosing her more than anything. And it's very relatable to some readers. When they're reading, they're like, yeah, I really agree with her. I should have done the same. But again, why did she choose that? So I just
Yes.
chose to make her like that. It's just fiction, but
Okay.
in the set, we have some people like that in the set. They're there. We have them.
Okay, so Eric is also a fascinating and unsettling character. How did you balance making him a believable villain while so avoiding stereotype?
So Eric is one of my favorite character, and I really like him. And I can say I had like a bias on him. I wanted to make him a villain, but again, a good person in a way I didn't know. When you read the book, he's a protagonist, he's a villain, but again, when you continue the story, he's somehow good in other ways. So trying to balance making him a villain and then a good person at the same time was the hardest thing I could do, because I couldn't choose to make him a villain totally, but again, he wasn't a good person. So I can't say it was easy, but I tried to make him the way I wanted, and finally, yeah, it worked out.
Okay, so the relationship between Gloria, Eric, and her parents are central to their story. So can you discuss how you developed those relationships and what you wanted to convey through that?
Yeah, thank you. So basically, if you read the book, Gloria, Eric, and the parents at the center of the book, mostly that's the people we come back to. And I wanted to center them because if they would have worked together, I'm sure Gloria would not have done what she did. If you read the book, you will know. And I wanted to convey, or I wanted to make the society or my readers know that however much we like or not, parents play a big role in our marriages. So if you read the book, if the mother would have known what was going on, like clearly, I'm sure the book would have gone a different way. But the fact that they're blindfolded, they don't know what is going on. And that's what's happening in most of the society. We want to marry our children to the people we don't know. We don't even want to know just because of what they're offering on the table. So I'm sure if the parents knew the whole story, what is going on in the back, I'm sure something that would have been a twist to the story. So I wanted it to make it the center for the readers to know. Like parents should get involved from the start. They should know what is going. They shouldn't be blindfolded by the material or how the man is, what he has. They should know exactly and prefer their their children feelings more than what they're saying physically. So that's why
Okay,
I'm
good.
center of the story.
Nice. So that brings me to another question. What's your message to parents?
My message to parents, I already said it. They should get involved. They should know more about the people they are marrying their children to. Not what they're offering on the table, but basically who are they internally? Who are these people? Apart from what they have, mostly the money or how they look physically, they should know more about that. And it was nothing in the novel. They did not know anything.
So,
They just
yes, should parents anyway be allowed to set up their children's marriage, or they should just let them children like their own choice?
I'm not saying parents should get involved. What I'm saying is that they should know exactly what is going on. Like if you're marrying that man, why? They even want to marry him. But if you read the story, they were happy that she's going to get married to a rich guy, not even knowing what is in the background. So parents should
Yes.
ask their children what they feel inside, because things they come and go. So parents shouldn't focus on materialistic things than how their children feel like. Yeah, that was my message, basically.
Okay, so thank you. So we now go to the section of themes and symbolism. So the title of the letter is intriguing. What significance does the letter hold in the story, and what does it represent for Gloria? Maybe the main question is, why did you choose the letter as the title?
It's very funny. I don't know, maybe as how they choose to name their books. But me, the letter kept on coming frequently, like kept on coming. And if you read the book well, it's basically the letter. The letters portrayed more than the person. Like they spoke more than what the person would have said if it was if she was around. So it was like the letters. I wanted to name it the letters, but again, the letter came to my mind more because there were more than like 3 letters to the people she loved the most. It's like a message to the world, a message to the parents, a message to other people she loved. So that's what happened. Then I named it the letter.
So you were sending a letter to the reader.
Yes, the readers and
Yes,
to the world.
So power dynamics and control are the major themes in the book. How did you want to explore these themes, and what message do you hope readers to take away?
Yeah. So when I was writing, like I said, I wanted to write something that is already in society, and power and control is one thing that is in this novel. So if you can, the character Eric, he's all about the power. Like he's controlling. He thinks what he has can buy all he wants, and that's not what it is. So I wanted to portray that sometimes money or power cannot buy love. And
Yes.
that's actually what happens in the book. Sometimes the thing that money can buy and love is not included. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, good. Now we go to personal connections. As a Rwandan actor, how does your culture background influence your writing? And are there any specific cultural references or themes in the read?
Yeah, this is a tricky question, but as a Rwandan who grew up wanting to write something of her own and basically something in the society, I can say it's something very good and something inspiring. So I do not want to go far from the culture, but again, it's a global thing. It's not the message that is happening in Rwanda only. It can happen in Africa, in Europe, anywhere. So there's no culture relatives. It was just a global thing that can happen anywhere.
Okay, so you have mentioned that you are passionate about cooking and reading. So how do these hobbies inform your writing, and how do you find that they help you relax or start creativity.
Yeah, those those are two different hobbies, but trust me, cooking is therapy and reading is therapy. Mostly when I'm stressed, I either cook or I read to take my mind away because reading, you can travel the world without even going anywhere. And cooking, it's just gives you ideas. That's where I think cooking is like showering. You have so many ideas in the bathroom. So when I'm cooking, I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm like, okay, what's next? I have so many ideas. That's
So,
why I love it.
you mean cooking takes you away from the crowded world?
Yes, it does. It takes me out. It's so peaceful. Like you think about yourself so much. It's the same as reading. When you're reading, you're focusing on that book. You're in another world. So even cooking is the same.
Okay, so good. What do you think is the most important lesson or message you have learned from the letter? And how has it impacted your personal growth?
The letter is something I never expected that might sparkle. Whenever I get the book, when I'm reading it again, I'm like, really? Did I write something like this? And I even question myself, what was I even thinking? When you're reading it, okay, like, where do you get the ideas? So it inspires me to write even other books. If I can manage to write something small and people like it and people love it, it inspires me to write more, even bigger things. And it really changed my mind. It really showed me that I can even do when I set my mind on something. So it really impacted me and the society as well.
Good. They say that sometimes the book helps the author than anyone else. So you mean the letter has proved to you that there is more you can do in your life than you ever saw.
Yes, yes. Like I said, when I'm going back to the book, or when they're reading it, they're like, where did you get the ideas? And as an author, like yourself, when you're writing, it's not you're taken away by ideas. You're just keeping on adding. And when you go back to what you wrote, you're like, where did I get these ideas? How did I even think about this story? You're even confused about what you did.
Okay, so
Yes.
it often happens to me. I have more than 10 written works out there. And sometimes when I read through my books, I'm like, okay, this person must be very intelligent. So
Right. It's very nice.
your writing style is described as evocative and immersive. So can you discuss your approach to crafting a narrative that draws readers in?
My writing style, I think so many people question about it. But as an author, you're the one who chooses what to do. Like it's you and your book. So when I was writing the letter, like I didn't know what to do. I didn't like when you're starting to write something as an author, you don't know where to begin, but you feel like you're fasted to write something, but you don't know how. My novel or my letter, the story I wrote, I wanted to keep people getting involved on what's going to happen, but again, giving them like a very short view of what's coming. When you read the letter, it starts with an event that you're like, okay, why am I here? And then when you continue, the story brings you back to what happened for the event to occur in the past readings you had. So it keeps on flipping back from the past to the present until you understand exactly what is really going on. So if you're not a good reader or if you're not interested in reading, it's gonna be complicated. But the more you read it, the more you want to know.
Yes,
Yes, sorry.
it's gonna be completed, but again, inspiring to move forward.
It is. Once you what like some of us we are not good readers. If you're a good reader, you're going to understand completely. It's not gonna be difficult. But if you're start reader, like you're beginning reader, you don't know. Like you're trying to learn how to read, I can't promise you anything. But when you reach in the middle or after some pages, you understand. And you're like, this is why this happened, this is why this happened. Then you wanna know more. So it's very intriguing, like it keeps you wanting to read more and very frustrating. You want it to go like this, but it's not like this. Because most of the feedbacks I got, they were like, why did you end it like this? You see? Maybe they wanted more of the story, but that's the end.
Okay, maybe that's the same thing for my other author. He's called Shakespeare. He wrote a book called Beyond the Whistle. Whenever I meet him, I ask him, why did you end the book like that? Because it ended in the way that I didn't like at all. But, well, it had to be challenging and different from what someone expected.
Yes.
Who are some of your literary influences and how do you think they have shaped your writing style?
Mm-hmm. So it's very funny, but Chinua Achebe is one of my favorite authors.
But he's also one of the greatest in the whole Africa.
Yes. I read his story. I think he really inspired me. And I don't know, like he inspired me to write something. He had the same story. It keeps you suspense. He wants you to read the story and understand. And he's very, very unpredictable. You don't know what's coming next. So I can say, yeah, he really inspired me, and he's one of the brightest African and global authors of all the times. And there were many authors, but I can say as an African, that was an added value because when I was in high school, I got a chance to explore the library. I was at that extent where a person wanting a best book to read would come to me instead of going to the library. They would be like, Joyce, where's the best book at? Because I knew exactly where the best book were placed. So my worry was, why wasn't I read in Rwanda in this entire library? I was blessed to be in a very big library with different categories of books in America, American books, European books, African books, the best books. But I've never ever came across a Rwandan story or a Rwandan novel. And I think that's also inspired me to write my own. I was like, even if it's 2 pages, but I want my own book to be in the shelves. Even if it's 2 pages, 1 to 2 pages,
Yes.
but it's for a Rwandan lady or a Rwandan person. So I think the library books that we had at school and most Chinua Achebe, they're the authors that really inspired me. And many
So
others.
it means that you also want to become one of the Africa's greatest.
Yes.
Such as, have you ever read Ngugi wa Thiong'o?
Yes.
That's one of the greatest.
I don't want to name them, but really there's so many African mostly.
So when you read Chinua Achebe and Ngugi wa Thiong'o, they have somewhat of the same system of writing, but their books are very nice. I have read a lot of their books.
A lot, and they're even good, really good. So they inspired me. The writing is kind of different, but again, how the story goes, the suspense, and how people get really attached to it, and the endings. Yeah, I got inspired by those 2 men.
Okay, good. So when you look at the works of Chinua Achebe and Ngugi wa Thiong'o, and I can see that it's also the same way that you have rewrote your book. They are fiction books. They are not there just to help someone relax. They are there to send a message to the society. And actually, that's the best thing, books that we want. We want books that change people, not books that only help you relax as if you're watching a movie.
Yes.
And sometimes, okay, well, sometimes even movies are created in a way that it changes the society or it gives them a new overview of how things should be.
Yes.
So what's next for you as an actor? Are you working on any new projects and can you give us a sneak peek into what's coming up?
Oh, why? Yeah, that's a nice. So you're bribing me to give you a next tip on what's coming.
So I want you to tell us if you're working on something that is coming soon, and then if you don't bring it out as soon as possible, we will request you to pay us because you have promised.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's what's happening when people read my book. They're like, the book is so short. We wanted more. Is there a B and a B book or to name it whatever? Is this the end? They want to know if this is the end. So
Yeah.
basically, that's the end of my novel. That's how I wanted it. I wanted it to be short and precise. But please, something big is coming. I'm working on my second book, and like I said, it's called 17 Years of Secrecy, and I hope to be back here talking about it very soon. And I know you're going to love it. If you love the letter, imagine it as bigger than the letter. It's very good. It's very small. I don't know. It's so good. So I'll come back here talking about it very soon. Yeah.
If you're an e-commerce seller, then you need Outfy to boost your social media game. Outfy is your ultimate social media management tool. It connects seamlessly with top marketplaces like Etsy and Shopify. Imagine automated content creation that churns out eye-catching videos, GIFs, and promo posts. With Outfy, share across Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and YouTube, and reach a wider audience effortlessly. Schedule your posts in advance and let Outfy handle the rest. Track performance with Outfy's analytics tools. Gain insights and refine your strategy. Save time, save money, and grow your business. Many businesses have seen incredible growth with Outfy. Ready to join them? Sign up for Outfy and transform your online presence today. Outfy, efficient, effective, essential. Try it now and watch your business thrive. To support the Daddy Minds podcast, check out Outfy with the link in this episode description.
But don't make it too small.
No, it's very big. It's very big. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So you have to make sure that it's out there as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's not easy. I'm trying, but it's gonna come and it's gonna be good.
Okay, nice. So if you could have a dinner with any character from the letter, who would it be?
Oh my God, that's a very beautiful story. I mean, very beautiful question. Let me see. The problem, I'm very biased on Eric. So if I could have a chance to have dinner with my characters, it would be Eric and Gloria. For one
Well,
person, no, Eric, but if they choose to give me two people, then it would be Eric and Gloria. Because even me, I don't know. I don't know. I'm very biased on Eric, but again, having them both should be one.
oh, when you had, if you had a chance to meet, of course, Gloria and Eric, what would you tell Eric and what would you tell Gloria?
Okay. The problem is me who wrote it. I don't know if I want to be biased again.
Okay, just consider it as it's a story you had somewhere.
Yes. It's a story I had somewhere. It's not fiction. I did not imagine it. It's a true story, right? Let me
Yeah.
imagine it as a true story. So one thing I would ask Eric, I would ask him, if you were given a chance to be with Gloria for a long time, would you have changed into a better man?
Okay, that's right.
That's number one. Then Gloria, I would ask, it's just a vice versa. If you'd have stayed with Eric and the way he loved you, because Eric really loved Gloria, would you have given him a chance to love him? Would you have loved him in the end, regardless of what he did to you? Yeah, those are the questions I ask myself, and people ask me at the same time. It's very funny how they ask the same, and I ask myself that.
Okay, or maybe you would tell Gloria what would be her approach if Eric was a nice guy and at the same time rich.
Yes. I would. If it was a longer story, I would have made that happen.
Okay, so good, but you can't put yourself into the story.
Yeah.
So, what's the most surprising or unexpected reaction we have received from a reader?
You said unexpected or most common reaction?
Okay, where a comment you never expected.
A comment I never expected was that I'm so rude. On the ending, they're like, really? Really? Why did you end them in the book like that? Most of them, they're like, is this the end? There's no part two? What happened? Why did you choose this? What? Yeah, those are the common questions. They're like, I'm so rude. I shouldn't have ended the book like that. Yeah, that's the most unexpected. And me, I was like, okay, that's the end. I'm not going further. If I go further, it's gonna be something else. But they're like, no, we need the party. We need to know what's going to happen to this baby, what's going to, ABC. Yeah.
So you have to make sure that the second book will answer most of the questions.
Yeah, of course, you learn from the experience. This is my first book. I'm sure my second book. But still, writing is a very funny thing. I might promise it's going to be better on the ending. It becomes worse. Because that's what I want from the readers. I want them to keep wanting more from what I can offer. So I can't promise anything. Maybe it's going to be worse. Maybe it's going to be a beautiful ending. All the stories have their endings. It depends.
Okay, so I also believe that's nice because if one book raises a lot of questions, then people are gonna be curious about what's coming next. And also you do the same thing. They're gonna be curious about what's next. That's how you grow into your career as an actor.
Yes, yeah, you can never satisfy. You don't have to give them what they want. As long as they're happy and they like what you're writing, that's all they need.
But you just have to keep them interested in the flow, what's coming next, what's coming next.
Mhm.
Good. So if there is a way to be adapted into a film or TV series, would you cast as Gloria and Eric? Why? And why?
Who would I cast as Gloria, Eric, and why?
Okay, so for example, which character from that movie would you like to be yourself?
Yeah, would I like to be myself?
Yes.
If I played in the film,
In the film called Dereta, like the character which you believe would help you send the message to the watchers very perfectly.
that's not what I wish. Maybe I can direct the story or the movie scripts. I'm the one who knows exactly what I want because if I can also play and if they can twist, I can play Eric because Eric is the protagonist. He's a big role in the movie and he's the only character that makes the whole story like have sense or interesting. So
Yes.
if I would be a man, I would play Eric. But since I'm a girl, I'd play Gloria. But basically, directing the story would be more wonderful because I can oversee all the characters at once.
That in the future.
Yes, anything is possible.
Okay, so people are hearing if they want to watch the movie, like they read the book, maybe they have to buy more books.
They have to. The books are available. They have to buy more books, and I think the way the letter is written is more of something like a movie or a TV show. You don't even have to go into further explanations. People who read it are like, oh my God, it's like something that happened. It's like a movie. Did you read it somewhere? Did you see it somewhere? So I'm sure if it's played into a movie, it would be even more wonderful. It would be very beautiful. And I hope one day it's gonna be played.
Okay, nice. So what's your overview of the Rwandan literature industry? For myself, I started back in 2019 for my first book, Here I Can Be Chance. But at that time, you couldn't hear anywhere a story of an author who is a Rwandan, apart from those historians who tries to write about what happened in the 1994 genocide. Those were the only content that we have, but now we have novels. So where do you see the future of the Rwandan literature industry, and what is your message, of course, to the whole Rwandan literature community?
That's a very beautiful question. When I was writing this story, whenever maybe at my school they would ask me, what are your hobbies? I'd be like, writing. And then they're like, writing what? They wouldn't understand. And since my book was in the range as yours, I also published my book in 2020. It wasn't as it is today. But I'm very happy there is a future for writers. People now really like to read. They're discovering the culture of reading, mostly the younger generation. So in 20 years to come, I'm sure it's going to be a value added to Rwandans, which is different from the past years. And I hope the books are going to have the value they really deserve. So I can't say it's worse, but the future is bright for the people who really like to read. The reading culture is being developed in most of the Rwandans, young children in schools, and also we Rwandans were starting to like writing. You know, if we started at 2, now we are 10. I'm really liking the change. So the future is bright. Yeah.
Okay, so well, that's very nice. But there is a lot of work to do. I would say that as someone who is in the publishing department, there is a lot of people who publish books out there, but they still need to run a lot and they still need to put in more effort. So, but I have to thank you very much for your contribution, because one author is a very big step to the future and to the growth of the whole industry. So I'm out of questions now. Maybe you would have to share with us, give us something like a bonus.
Yeah. I would like to ask one question as a publisher and an author. Also, I'd like to ask you the same question. Like, are you seeing any hope in writing or in reading in Rwandan culture? Or it's very difficult and there is still more work to do than we write authors. Maybe it's difficult on you, but for us it's easy. So what do you think?
When it comes to authors, there is a step we have made, because we have more than, from my own research, we have like 10 authors whom I can call they are serious in what they're doing. So, but there is one thing I bring to the literature community, especially authors. So people shouldn't take writing as a fundraising tool. People should write just as a career. They should write they should just become real authors. So we have many people out there, they write and they publish and they do it as a fundraising tool. So what happens next is when any foreign organization, for example, gives them money, the book sleeps and stays like in the sleeping mode. So it doesn't go further. So I want to see more publishers and artists taking their content to the world, not just because they are waiting for someone to praise them or that they have wrote a book or that they have published a book. They have to write with a spirit of making their work, transforming it into something big. That's what we are doing here at Admine. We don't want just an actor like you, Joyce, to go on the TV and become a superstar in the country. That's not what we need. We need your book to be available in the US. We need your book to be available in Europe, in Asia, in whatever, Middle East, in Africa. So publishers and authors should focus more on becoming global personalities, global authors, not just rock superstars because they went to the TV. Some people, some authors, they go to the TV, they go to the radio, the rock here, and then they become a superstar. If someone has seen you on the TV, you become a star. So, but that's not the end of the road. And one message, okay, that's on the side specifically generally, but for the publishers. But one message for the authors I want to send them is writing is not a get rich quick scheme. So I meet a lot of authors. They tell me, so I have a book. If we publish it, how much am I going to get?
Yeah.
So we publishers, you're putting us in trouble because we don't publish your book and then go back and buy it and then get the money and then pay you. That's not how things work. A book is sold by its quality. That's what grabs the readers into your content. And then your brand. So I would urge more authors to build a global online brand. Okay, going on TV, on the radio, it's okay. But compared to the reading community, which is still, I would say, more at all, we have a lot to do in that area. people should focus on building a global brand on social media. You can have a small website or a small landing page. You can also go to podcasts like this. This is why we publish. We have the Dead Man's podcast. We want to help our artists reach a global community. For example, right now, someone in the US, someone in Europe, or someone in Asia will hear about you in the interview that we have here. And it is very possible that they won't have a chance to see your book online, for example, but it is also very possible that they might listen to the podcast. And if they hear about you, they hear about your book, then they're going to be interested in what you have written. So authors should focus on branding. I have read more of the books of Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the Get Rich Dad, Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a very nice book that inspired me to start my own business. He once said that being an entrepreneur is not something that gives you money. It's not an income generating thing. They say being an entrepreneur, entrepreneurs work for free, meaning that you work by your passion and talents and gifts. You push things forward because you want to see them happening.
Mm.
So authors should have an entrepreneurial mindset. Writing is not something that is going to make you rich more. So you have to write because you love it, because there is a message that you want to send to the world. Then there are many other ways of how you will monetize your writing, such as getting appeared to the podcast and trying to get the media interviews. I've seen most of the actors in Rwanda getting interviews on the television. It's very nice. But writing is not a money-generating thing. It's like entrepreneurship. You work for free. But Robert Kiyosaki said, what makes you a real entrepreneur or what makes you a real author is when you try to create a way that you will get money out of your entrepreneurship or out of your writing while you work for free. How do you do it? For example, I'll give you an example in my business. When I create a website for my company or for a project, who is going to pay? No one. So when I create social media ads, who is going to pay me? When I create a blog post, who is going to pay me? And on overall, who paid me to create the whole idea of the Dead Man's company? So no one. Authors should have the same mindset. You are not going to write and become a rich person in one day. And final message to authors is this one: writing your book, finishing your manuscript, and getting it published is just a beginning. The road starts with marketing and promoting your work. Some people think that if your book is published, it ends there. But actually, if you don't promote, it's like in business. If you have a manufacturing company and you don't promote your product, no one is coming to buy them. That's why we do things like podcasts. And at that means we have press releases. We have more than 10 websites where we post those press releases, including social media. Like we have a newsletter on LinkedIn and we have a blog on Timber where we post press releases about all the books that we publish in the hope that someone might be interested in your work when we publish the press release. And sometimes we can distribute press releases to other media platforms. So marketing is the most important thing. Okay, writing is good. I am also an author. It takes a lot of hard work, but publishing your work, seeing it on Amazon, for example, it's not the end of the road. You have to keep promoting it. You have to keep branding yourself. You have to take your name once you become an author as a company. And we have everything that a company brand does to brand and grow its name. But don't ask me another question.
It's okay. The next time, anyway.
Okay, anyway. No, it's fine. You can ask me another question. But this is a question I also wanted to be asked because I always want to send this message to especially because they are starting out and many young people, they think they can just write and they become a billionaire. And when that doesn't happen, you won't see the second book. And actually the success of an author comes after like 3 or 5 books. Because, for example, you give your own experience. when I wrote my first book, Your Life Can Be Changed, it focused more on business, on psychology, and philosophical themes. And then someone asked me, how did you write about philosophy or about psychology? Why you don't even have a university degree?
Imagine.
In a few words, they thought I was joking. So my answer was, but what is psychology? It's the study of human behavior. And we people have a way that we behave every day. So behaviors are part of our everyday life. Why can't I write there? So what is philosophy? It's the study of human thinking methodology. And I think even someone we call dumb have some small thoughts. Everyone thinks. So thinking is also part of our everyday life. So why can't I write the way on how people think, or maybe give people a new way of thinking according to my own beliefs or according to my own research? So we are actually like a research machine. Everyday lives, whatever we see, whoever we meet, people must know that if you meet another, they are always learning about. And it's very possible that the conversation you had with another, he or she will put it in the next book. So, right, you can hear when you write the first book, people think you are joking. When you write the second book, people start asking themselves, well, how wrong is he going to do? But when you write the third book, people will now believe that you were serious about what you were doing. People will start to be scared of you. Like, there is one thing I like about the whole Rwandan society. They might not read your book, but wherever you step, if they know that you are an author, they will respect you for that. But that respect comes after 3 books. When they have now come to understand that you are serious about what you're doing and you are not going to stop it. But if you write, I often say that someone with 1 book is not an author at all. Because sometimes we went to authors meetings and then we hear someone calling themselves an author. So, and they have a book they have written in the past 10 years. So,
Yes.
according to you, is that person still an author today? If they wrote 1 book, right, and it's in the past 10 or 20 years, is this person still an author? Maybe it's something you did because you have time, maybe because you felt like you had nothing to do, but just 1 book doesn't show the society how you are serious about your writing career. So the second book, it raises questions in the society. They asking about who you are, what are you even doing, and why did you do it, and how long are you going to do it? But when you write the third book, they start believing that this is something serious, and maybe you have found a gold pit in the writing. Now in the one set, they believe that writing might be something that can make someone rich, because if you write the second book, the fifth book, the fourth book, people are scared. Now you have stabilized your image in the set. So that's what I want to see in more of Rwandan artists. When my business operations were still small, I wanted to write like 2 or 4 books every year. But if you call yourself an author, make sure that at least you bring out 1 book every year. So, like, let's go to musicians. What makes them successful? And what happens if they don't release another music in 3 years?
But it's everything.
Their name disappears. So you have to stay consistent. You have to keep bringing out something new so that people believe that you're serious about what you're doing.
Yeah, you're still around.
Good. So, got another question? Now you are the one interviewing me.
I think you have answered all the questions, and what I can add on is I'm very happy of your project and your vision of making the Rwandan even other options globally. Like you say, it's not enough publishing locally. People should know your book. It should be on Amazon, have like the podcast marketing is everything. And it also inspires you to write more because if it stays locally, I don't think like in a society, most people don't even like reading, but within time to come. So it's a great approach to even test other approaches from like you go global. So let me say that's a wonderful thing. It's also an instinct from other publishers, and please keep it up. And I hope even tomorrow is
I
gonna
will.
be your
I,
support.
I will. Let me add one more thing.
Yes.
There is one thing I have seen here in the writing community and another different thing locally. It's okay that people can be grouped in a community and share the ideas of how they are going to grow their writing career, for example. But if you create a community of people who only have problems, in the end, you only cry together. Nothing that will help you. So what I would advise people is to go global, to go abroad and search for solutions than believing that what I have seen in most people is that they create a group, they cry together. That's all. And then they call on the government, please help us, please do this. So we need, they start finding for NGOs that are going to help them. But I want people to hear this bigger mentality in them. I have created the Dead Minds Campaign out of zero, out of nothing. It's a wrong story. So people should kill the begging mentality out of them and then go out there, show what they got. Because if you really work hard, your work would be a proof to the whole world that there is something you can do. And then even though someone can help you, they can help you out of what you have done. If you are a Christian, for example, you remember where Jesus said about moving a mountain from one place to another, which requires you to have a faith, which is equivalent to a seed called snati. I don't know how they call it in English. I remember it in Rwanda. But research shows that it's a very small seed, and when grown and cared about, it turns into something big. So what that whole story sends is even God wants you to create even a small foundation. That will be a proof of your commitment. So I want more authors to work hard on what they can and stop just crying around. That won't change anything, and it won't really get us anywhere. People should explore all the possibilities of how they can work. And the most of the things I did right now, it really didn't cost a lot than commitment and the way to move things forward. And I believe everyone can do it. So, nice. Let's end this conversation by you telling us how people can connect to you and social media available and any links. We'll share them in the description, but also people should hear from yourself where you're available on social media you so that they will be updated on your next project.
So my book is available, first of all, on Amazon. In some of the libraries, we are trying to add them there. But you can, I will keep you posted on Twitter, Joyce Umuhire, on Instagram, same, on Facebook, same. It's the same names. And I'm sure when my second book comes, yeah, because it will be everywhere. We're going to have a podcast, same. And we are trying to make sure it reaches on so many readers. But again, people in Rwanda, don't forget to pass by the local libraries to get yourself a copy because they're also there and in the beta version. So thank you so much. And I think that's all. And thank you so much, Lee, for this wonderful podcast and for your time in welcoming me and having this session with me. Thank you.
Okay, so I thank you very much. Like I always say, the success of my people, the people I work with, that's what moves my company forward. That's what moves me forward. So I should instead be thanking you for choosing that man's company in the first place and for allowing us to be your partner in the journal you're growing your writing and your career.
Mm.
Since you are working with the Dead Minds company, anyone who follows us on different websites and social media, there we also update them with your next book when it comes out. So, but you better do it fast because now you have promised people that you have something coming up.
It is coming.
For us, we are here to put something out even tomorrow morning. So it's now you. It's you that you're remaining. Okay, so I really thank you very much. We've had a very wonderful and constructive conversation here. And I thank the Dead Man's community, the Dead Man's family, and everyone who listens to the Dead Man's podcast. And if you have this conversation, I would like to ask you to give us a comment, especially on Spotify, or answer our. Okay, give us a comment if you want to hear someone in the interview, or if you are an author who want to be invited. You can visit our website, podcast.deadmans.com. Then you can try as guest. So thank you, Joyce, for joining me today. Let me not say bye because you are part of the family.
Yes. See you soon.
So,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
If you're an e-commerce seller, then you need Outfy to boost your social media game. Outfy is your ultimate social media management tool. It connects seamlessly with top marketplaces like Etsy and Shopify. Imagine automated content creation that churns out eye-catching videos, GIFs, and promo posts. With Outfy, share across Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and YouTube, and reach a wider audience effortlessly. Schedule your posts in advance and let Outfy handle the rest. Track performance with Outfy's analytics tools. Gain insights and refine your strategy. Save time, save money, and grow your business. Many businesses have seen incredible growth with Outfy. Ready to join them? Sign up for Outfy and transform your online presence today. Outfy, efficient, effective, essential. Try it now and watch your business thrive. To support the Daddy Minds podcast, check out Outfy with the link in this episode description.